The human race is amazing, and some of us are lucky enough to be able to do unbelievable things. Some theories suggest that human beings are mutating, which means we'll all have special abilities in the near future. We've looked everywhere to find the kids that are showing signs of being part of the next evolutionary step in human history. From a child that is literally magnetic to an unbelievably strong and powerful little boy, here are 20 rare kids that are 1 in a million. Number 20. Chinese boy who can see in the dark, believed to be a superhuman. Do superheroes really exist? Never watched the TV series Heroes? Well, check out this superhuman Chinese boy. Nong Yusi from Dahua was born with blue eyes like many babies. However, in China, this is very rare. After a few months, his father took him to the hospital where he was told not to worry. But as he grew up, he started to notice he was different from other kids. He would be squinting in direct sunlight, and don't we all? But he found it uncomfortable. When some friends at school shined a flashlight in his eyes, and his eyes flashed back at them in neon green like a cat, then people started to realize his possible superhuman powers. People started to realize things were different in Nong, and interest grew around him. A curious teacher asked him to catch crickets at night, and he could. He was a real human cat. If you think this story's bogus, then a journalist thought so too. They set up a test in the dark, and he passed with flying colors. He was able to see, read, and write in complete darkness. He's been entered into the Guinness Book of World Records as the first human to see in the dark. How cool is this story? We all want to see in the dark. Nong, the superhuman cat. Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button and click the notification bell right now, or this centipede will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Number 19. Akrit Jaiswal. We've all heard of those childhood geniuses that make us all look stupid. Well, Akrit Jaiswal took it to another level at 7 years old when he was the world's youngest surgeon. But his path to genius was no surprise, as he started early. Akrit had already learned to walk at 10 months, and was reading and writing by the age of 2. Incredibly, by the age of 5, he was reading medicine and Shakespeare. This kid does not mess around. The incredible case of him performing surgery came about when an 8-year-old girl with burned fingers needed surgery to separate them. Her parents couldn't afford the surgery, but Akrit was already well known as a medical genius in the region.
In this book, the surgery is well defined.
He successfully performed the surgery, and the short videos of the surgery made him a global star. His eagerness to help human nature and find a cure for cancer have never been seen from someone at such a young age. His philosophy towards humans was perfectly described in an interview with him where he stated that he wanted to remove the screams, to remove the agony, to remove the pain from humans. How can someone so young be so mature? It astounds us. He has since gone on to complete bioengineering from IIT in Kanpur. This is one child genius that leaves us in awe. Number 18. Gabby Gengris. Can you imagine a life without pain? It sounds ideal, right? But it's actually a disability, because, well, imagine you bite your lips or fingers so hard that you can't feel it, so you bite through them. Let us introduce you to Gabby Gengris. Gabby suffers from a very rare disorder called congenital insensitivity to pain. For reasons not yet known, the connection between the nerves that sense pain and the brain's recognition of pain is missing. It all started as a baby, as she slept through the prick of a blood test when most babies would be crying out very loud. It makes life learning as a child incredibly difficult. By age 2.5, she had already been injured and hospitalized numerous times just learning to walk. Poor Gabby was putting fingers in her eyes and damaging her eyes without knowing. Her parents had to put swim goggles on her all the time just to protect her eyes. She ended up going blind in one eye. As her story was picked up in the global media, it turns out she was not alone, as others started writing to her. Others were injuring themselves time after time without knowing. In this fascinating story of Gabby, we understand that we need pain to help us remind us of what not to do. Life will be a challenge for Gabby, but she is super Gabby and a very happy girl. Number 17. Alani dos Santos. From feeling no pain to healing pain. Let's head over to Brazil, where we meet a young girl that allegedly has healing powers. Back in 2014, an 8-year-old girl claims to be channeling God's power to faith healing. With the power to heal anything from cancer to HIV, she has become quite the unique star. Exorcising demons and healing illnesses is a very impressive power. Nicknamed the Little Missionary, Alani claims to perform miracles at her father's church in the favela of San Gonzalo's, just outside of Rio de Janeiro. Thousands of people a year travel to the church in the hope of being cured. Her little hands channel her powers to the hundreds of men, women, and children who claim to have been healed. In this unbelievable footage, we see how each person falls to the floor as they've been touched by Alani, like a blessed touch has knocked them over in the healing process. In the packed church, the crowd goes wild as she supposedly healed a boy with diabetes, an elderly woman who can now walk again, and in this clip, a man who has HIV for 7 years. The man falls to the floor in shock from Alani's heavenly touch. This is a lot of weight to carry at such an early age, but Alani says she enjoys helping people. Number 16. Ramses Sanguino. From healers to telepathy, let's talk about 5-year-old Ramses Sanguino from Los Angeles. This cute 5-year-old savant has a high-functioning form of autism and is already learning 7 languages, plus solving complex mathematical equations. You feeling stupid in comparison yet? Wait, the kid is even more impressive. When his mother posted videos online of him reciting numbers that she had apparently secretly written, the world started to take interest.
E. C.
It grabbed the attention of neuroscientist Dr. Diane Powell, who is a former faculty member at Harvard Medical School. Dr. Powell decided to study Ramses as part of her cutting-edge research into telepathy. She believes that it could represent a fascinating alternative method of communication between autistic children and their parents. One of the studies she made was with Ramses' mother here, showing him different random cards. Watch how he incredibly chooses 3 out of 5. That may not sound like a lot, but it's a mind-blowing number of probability in order to do that. Ramses' mother had to bring him out of school as he kept correcting his teachers. Dr. Powell says he is one of the top 5 savants in the world. That's impressive. His savant skills are mind-blowing, or should we say, mind-reading. Number 15. Hasna Muslimani. Some of the stories we're seeing here make you want to cry, but imagine if your eyes produced glass. You're probably wondering what on earth we're talking about. Well, meet the extraordinary 12-year-old Hasna Muslimani from Lebanon. Known as the girl who sheds crystal tears, you're about to see why. In these remarkable scenes, we can actually see what appears to be small crystals coming out of her tear ducts. They appear to be real, and when they dry, they are sharp enough to score a line on slate. The incredible story all started when she was hurt in a scolding by her teacher and she started crying. For starters, teachers shouldn't be hitting children, but that's another matter. Whilst crying, she noticed these crystals coming from her eyes. Naturally, her mother took her to the hospital, but the doctors couldn't find any medical explanation. Since returning home, she has between 7 to 8 pieces of crystal glass shedding from her eye. It doesn't hurt her eyes, and some believe it's a miracle and visit Hasna daily to take away pieces of this so-called miracle. Can this really be true? It looks incredibly painful, and we're lost for words as we've never seen or dreamed of anything like it. Have you? Number 14. Giuliano Stroi. Superhuman strength can be at any age, believe it or not, and Giuliano Stroi is living proof of that fact. But he is a cut above the rest due to his staggering young age. Born on the 18th of June 2004 in Romania, he has a body that belongs more to an adult than a child. This kid is ripped, and at such a young age. By 2010, he managed 20 90-degree push-ups live on Romanian TV. I'm sure you couldn't do even one. These are the kinds of push-ups where your feet are not allowed to touch the ground, so it is pure body strength. He went on to break the world record, and he didn't stop there. He was the youngest Romanian gymnast to be in the Guinness Book of World Records. Live on Italian TV, he recorded the fastest ever 10-meter hand walk with a weight ball between his legs. This kid is incredible. Just look at how strong he is as he's doing the human flag, for which he holds the record of 1 minute and 32 seconds. Where does this kid get all of his strength from? He holds many more records, and it was quite astonishing for someone at such a young age. We hope he continues to be strong and healthy. Number 13. Tanishq Abraham. Be prepared to be bowled over by this child prodigy. His name is Tanishq Abraham. Astonishingly, by the age of 6, he was already taking courses in high school chemistry, physics, and biology. He qualified in everything so quickly with such high GPA scores. This led him to graduate high school at age 10, then graduate junior college with 3 associate degrees. Where does this kid stop? Well, at age 15, he had a biochemical engineering degree from UCLA. At the age of 18, when most kids are just trying to work out which degree to do, he was in the later stages of the PhD program in biochemical engineering at UCLA.
Carnivore statues get bigger.
He was bored at school as it was too easy for him, and he struggled to find teachers to let him sit in on courses for his level. He was way ahead of the other students, but this sadly led to other issues as a child, such as bullying. But his family were very supportive and gave him all the support that he needed. The list of achievements is scary and so impressive. A huge intellect, but he was still such a sweet, kind, happy 8-year-old. Even his sister was accepted into Mensa at age 4. What are his parents' secret? When he speaks, he even loses us with his intellect. Number 12. Yang Jinlong. We saw earlier the young kid Giuliano Stroy. Well, this next one is part of the unique group of superhuman kids. This one could be the future world's strongest man if he keeps going from strength to strength. This is the mighty Yang Jinlong from Fangyang County in China. Back in 2012, he was only 7 years old and was already pulling a minivan loaded with 8 passengers, weighing a staggering 1.85 tons for over 25 meters. He was only weighing a little more than 50 kilograms himself. No problem though, he could easily carry 100 kilograms of cement on his back, or even give a piggyback ride to his father who weighed more than 90 kilograms. Hold on, shouldn't it be his father giving him a piggyback at his age? In any case, Yang is super strong, and with his full cheeks and huge smile, he has won the hearts of everyone in China. He has quite rightfully become an internet sensation. We're thinking that he doesn't get into too much trouble at school or at home. Who would mess with this mini Hulk? We love his reply to when he was asked why he's so strong. Because I'm fat. He's so adorable. Don't lose your character, Yang. Number 11. Ben Underwood. Superhumans with super senses. It sounds like something out of a Marvel film, right? Well, this is the story of no ordinary teenage boy. On the surface, he looks like any other teenager. He plays basketball, roller skates, rides his BMX, and plays video games. This is Ben Underwood. But the difference is that at the very young age of 2, he was diagnosed with retinal cancer and had both eyes removed when he was 3. But that did not hinder him. His family encouraged him to apply human echolocation, an ability to sense objects by hearing them from echoes. He developed this so efficiently that he can effectively see without eyes. How does he do this? Well, he makes a sharp click which bounces back off nearby objects. He has no need for a cane, a guide dog, or even using his hands. His ears pick up the echoes and therefore sees where they are. He can hear walls, couches, and other inanimate objects. It's unbelievable to think that this is even possible, but it just shows what determination can do, and he's probably the only one in the world with such a talent. Anything is possible if you put your mind to it, or in Ben's case, your ears to it. Number 10. Maya Gamada. From echolocation skills to see to having a third eye. Meet 11-year-old Maya Gamada from North Carolina. She is nicknamed the girl with the third eye. Sounds like something out of a Marvel comic once again, right? But this is allegedly real life. Maya can actually see with a blindfold on.
Any of these powers. But it's just the third eye power that we use.
She can read, play games, and even draw while blindfolded. She's also stated that she rides her bike through traffic and dodges cars whilst blindfolded. Quite the talent. But how does she do this? Well, it's not as though she actually has a third physical eye. In fact, Maya learned this skill when she attended a course at Gurukul in India. She was taught by Guru Nityananda, who says that if you have a head, you have a third eye. Does that sound credible? Maya is taking it to another level now, and not just a party trick. Watch how she does a body scan of a journalist. She actually detects pain in his shoulder, for which he admits he recently had a shoulder operation. She talks about the lack of water, which he confirms. Naturally, there are many people who are not entirely convinced by Maya's ability, and some say it's just a trick to get money from others. What do you think? Real or fake? I guess hide and seek with her friends is no fun for them. Number 9. Boriska Kiprianovich. Some of these child stories are out of this world, and what we have next is gonna blow you away. This is Boriska Kiprianovich from Russia, or simply Boris. But there's nothing simple about Boris. Now 26 years old, he claimed that he used to live on Mars before being reborn on Earth. That is one crazy claim, but the world has been fascinated by his story. Born in 1996, he was considered a child genius when he started speaking full sentences and perfect vocabulary at age 1. But it was during a camping trip at 7 years old that he baffled everyone with his wacky stories. He recounted how he had been a Martian in his past life. We don't have the time to tell all of his incredible claims, but the most astounding one is that he was reincarnated in human form after his species were wiped out in a nuclear conflict.
Have it on the internet. This is how we heard about you.
He wants to warn us of the battle so that we can be prepared. He says this is why we haven't been able to find any life on Mars, as the war wrecked the air and the environment. Boris states that there are others like him, and they are known as Indigo Children. They are on a mission to protect the world from destruction. Hey, thanks, Boris, we really appreciate the heads up, but are we sure about this? Number 8. Anna Beleish. So if the comic characters Green Arrow or Hawkeye impress you, then get ready to be gobsmacked by this Russian teenager and her archery skills. Anna Beleish is a 19-year-old from Russia. Watch this eye-opening video of her performing her party trick. It's hard enough to hit the target when shooting a bow and arrow at the best of times, let alone when you're doing it with your feet and upside down. Anna climbs up onto supports, grabs the loaded bow with her feet, and tucks it between her toes. She then performs a handstand and then arches her back, which is in itself more than most people can do. But what happens next is the real talent. Using one foot to pull the bow back and the other to steady it, she then remarkably fires the bow and arrow at a target a few meters away. And guess what? She hits the target, no problem. Her family has said that ever since she was a little girl, she has been amazing at acrobatics. Well, she sure found a useful way to involve archery. We are impressed. Will Hollywood be calling? Time will tell, but no special effects will be needed for Anna. Number 7. Emma Tablet. So if you think you have trouble and stress raising your children, just imagine if your child starts fires just by saying the word and pointing at an object. Meet 3-year-old Emma Tablet from Iloilo City in the Philippines. Rumors literally spread like wildfire when people started hearing about this girl who was seemingly causing fires to break out in her home. It must be quite the mess to handle. Clothes, towels, and many other objects frequently caught fire throughout the house whenever she pointed and called out, "Fire." Is this true pyrokinesis? Pyrokinesis is a purported psychic ability which allows a person to create and control fire with their mind. Has Emma developed this at a very early age without even knowing it? Whatever it is, it caught the attention of the global media. When one journalist turned up to investigate whilst talking to Emma, all of a sudden, a towel caught fire inside. They were unable to check if Emma caused the fire as it was already burning when they filmed it, but that is spooky. Emma the Fire Starter. It sounds like a cartoon character from the 80s. Just be careful when visiting her and avoid her stare. That cute look could be the end of you. Number 6. Aurelian Heyman. Now, if you think you have a good memory, just wait until you've met Aurelian Heyman. This is not just about remembering birthdays or vague recollections of a lifetime event. This is actually about remembering a specific date, time, color, clothes, and every detail about it. In 2012, the 20-year-old English student was featured in a television documentary. Aurelian has a rare condition called hyperthymesia. Apparently, only 20 people in the world have been diagnosed with this condition. It gives you a highly superior autobiographical memory where you can remember what you did, ate, and said, what the weather was, and incredibly anything on a specific day.
Imaginary pen writing in events in a sort of mental calendar.
Long-term memories are stored in the right frontal lobe, but the average person can only remember up to 11 events per year of their life. Aurelian uses the right and left frontal lobe. That is insanely good. It all started from about age 11. Before that, he had a memory like the rest of us. He has described it as seeing a sequence of images, and he has no gaps. We bet you're thinking that he must ace all exams with such a memory, but sadly not. Aurelian claims that he hasn't been able to use his memory for exams, as his memory is purely autobiographical. Well, I guess it's back to the study books then, Aurelian. Good luck. Number 5. Sung Sung. If you think you can play a musical instrument, just wait until you see this kid. He has just blown us away. Lee Shin Sung, also known as Sung Sung, is a child prodigy pianist from Hong Kong, and he is absolutely brilliant. He started learning to play the piano at a staggering 3 years old, and since then, he has been on a fast track to fame. This video of him playing and laughing with his father back in 2012 went viral with over 14 million views and counting. You can see why. It's so sweet and innocent between father and son, but then he explodes into a very complex and stunning solo performance. He became a global hit, but as ever, people doubted as to whether it was really him playing or not due to the complexity of the piece he was playing. We love this next piece of the story. To prove his critics wrong, he was invited to The Ellen Show, where he performed live in a stunning white suit. This seemed to calm down the conspiracy theorists, and he continues to delight audiences worldwide. We love this kid. If you're looking for some great classical piano, forget the classics. Watch Sung and his magical fingers. Number 4. Deepak Jangra. We heard earlier about the girl Gabby who felt no pain. Well, now we have a young man who cannot feel electricity. Indian teenager Deepak Jangra can touch live electricity up to 11,000 volts and not feel a thing. This is not a superhero with special powers, it's just a simple boy trying to repair his mother's portable heater. He thought the power was off, but later realized it was on and just didn't feel the electricity running through him. Since that day, he has been demonstrating this very bizarre talent. He has become an internet sensation. He has put his naked hand in water with electricity and not felt a thing. He has put a live electrical wire on his tongue and again not felt a single volt of electricity. The kid's a real live wire in all the senses. The positive part, if you can excuse the pun, is that he has now fixed many houses in his community and he refuses to take any money whilst doing so. To prove his skills, he climbed an 11,000 volt power supply and felt nothing. The average person would have a slight electric shock just standing 5 meters away. He is a real-life superhero who just wants to help people with his electric touch. Number 3. Adam Kirby Potty. The child geniuses still amaze us every time. We are so used to watching children trying to speak, or parents coming out with the most bizarre language to speak to them. Well, when your name is Adam Kirby Potty, your parents do not have that issue. Adam was a 2-year-old kid from England who became the youngest ever member of the Genius Club, Mensa. With an unbelievable IQ score of 141, it's apparently higher than the US President at the time, Barack Obama, and the UK Prime Minister at the time, David Cameron. Could this 2-year-old run these 2 power countries? We doubt it, but he is unbelievably intelligent for his age, and a lot cuter than Obama or Cameron. He could read Shakespeare and already understood Japanese, Spanish, and French. Here, we can see him placing the countries in a puzzle without any doubt.
Wow.
His parents have said they cannot believe his ability to learn, and he seems to love it. With his IQ level just 4 points short of genius, we are confident that he will do great things in life. Who knows, maybe he's the future Prime Minister of England. Number 2. Trick Shot Titus. From 2-year-old Mensa kids to incredible sports skills. This next toddler will amaze you with his ball skills. He has the shots to rival the best. Stephen Curry, forget about it. Enter Titus Ashby to the NBA Hall of Fame. Okay, maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves, but this kid sure can shoot hoops. So much so that even Jimmy Kimmel invited him to his show to demonstrate his skills in a shootout with 15-time All-Star and 4-time NBA champion Shaquille O'Neal. His home videos show him hitting shot after shot in different circumstances. He can hit them from around every angle and every bounce. The kid is special. He is known as Trick Shot Titus, and he is so cute. We're not even sure he knows who Shaq is. They set up the hoops at each of their respective heights and distance. Titus nailed it with 8 shots in 30 seconds. The legend Shaq didn't even hit one. Go Titus! He nailed that Clash of the Titus. He landed a national commercial with Sprint, and he keeps on going. This little fella from Derby, Kansas is sure one to watch for. Let's hope to see him in the NBA one day. That'll be a huge story. Number 1. The Magnetic Kid. The Marvel character Magneto may be a fictional character, but maybe there's a real-life Magneto living in Zagreb, Croatia. Back in 2011, the world found out about Ivan Stojilkovic, the smiley 6-year-old boy from Croatia. This kid displays an unusual talent of attracting all metal to his body. He is literally magnetic. As you can see, his family can throw coins to him and attach huge metal objects to him, such as dumbbells and frying pans. He's also incredibly strong, as he can withstand up to 25 kilograms on his chest. But the gift does not stop there. Apparently, the Magnetic Kid can also heal due to his magnetic field. He has been able to remove pain from his family members through the heat of his hands. The kid looks so happy and enjoys his life. Many have tried to call him fake, but that prompted a Facebook page with thousands of supporters posting photos of similar feats. Even when growing up, he continued to show his magnetic powers on live television. It can't be easy for him, though. What happens when he walks past a junkyard? That must be extremely annoying. Whatever happens, Magneto lives on in Croatia. I don't know about you, but I think we still haven't uncovered all the amazing things our species can do. What about you? Do you have any amazing abilities? Tell us about it. Also, check out our other cool stuff showing up on screen right now. See you next time.